it's a privilege and a blessing to work in a family business, but you have to do it right. Just like any other company, you have to do things right. If you do things wrong, then the company will crumble and fall down and be torn apart. And I think that as a family, you have more chances of getting up. Hey guys, welcome back to the Leadership Stack Podcast, the podcast for entrepreneurs by entrepreneurs to increase your leadership, teamwork, and profits. This is your host, Sean C., aka Mr. CEO at 22. Welcome back, guys, to Leadership Stack Live. For those of you who haven't joined the community yet, you can join us on Discord. If you want to ask me consulting questions, business questions, entrepreneurship questions, or even if it is career questions, you can ask it there and I will be getting to answering them every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Just to share with you, we have the podcast on Spotify and you can follow the podcast on Spotify if you are keen on learning more new things. I'm going to start answering a couple of questions, and if we finish early, that's fine. Question from Jazz. They say family business will ruin your family. What is your say on this? This episode is partnered up with Armoury.ph. That is ARMOURY.ph. Armoury is an online watch store and is the exclusive distributor of the brands TW Steel, Dion Milano, Fonderia, Luminox, and Mondane in the Philippines. Yes, folks, those are Italian watch brands. If you are looking to buy your next go-to luxurious everyday watch, go to armory.ph and enter the coupon code LS30. That's all caps LS30, no space. Armory.ph delivers straight to your doorstep with a security tape to make sure that your package is safe from theft, arrives on time, and is guaranteed working 100%. Go to armory.ph and buy your first luxury watch today. I think it depends on how you run the family business, because early on we were farmers and hunters, and a lot of businesses before were family businesses and they had more time as a family. And we can see families now, there's divorce left and right, and that's because the husband and the wife are working different jobs, and sometimes there's affairs going on and they grow separately, their separate ways. And I think working in a family business is a blessing. We see people doing farming. The father is the farmer, the mother takes care of the house or grows some of the crops, and the kids also help out. I think it's a privilege and a blessing to work in a family business, but you have to do it right. Just like any other company, you have to do things right. If you do things wrong, then the company will crumble and fall down and be torn apart. And I think that as a family, you have more chances of getting up, rather than if you're starting a company with friends. There's more chances of you not getting up, not having the grit to rebuild the business, especially if it's a startup company. So I think that having a family business is actually really good, but that assumes that your family dynamic is also good. Of course, you're not going to decide to start a business with family if your family dynamics is screwed up. So that is the implicit understanding there. How do you do business with people who are unbelievers? I do business with them. I don't make them partners. I don't do joint ventures with them because I wouldn't do that with unbelievers. It's hard to be yoked with them. The Bible, that's what it says. Do not be yoked with unbelievers. And what that means is if you're partners with them, meaning you're 50-50 with them, or 100% effort from you and 100% effort from them, sabay kayo, you're walking hand in hand, going hand in hand, then I think that is not good. So I don't have any joint ventures or partnerships with unbelievers. In fact, most of my businesses, I don't have any partners. Yeah, I don't have any partners, or I'm always the majority owner. I don't have businesses where I'm minority stake unless I'm a silent partner. I don't like being minority, so I'd rather be silent than minority. You do business usually para walang sakit ng ulo eh. And you do business with other people also. It has to be clear to you who's the industrial partner, who's the funder, vice versa. If you're the industrial partner, they're the funders. It has to be clear who's in charge. There has to be only one head. If there are many heads, that's not going to work. A person with many heads, that's a monster, right? So you cannot have many heads leading a single company or organization. How many years did it took to establish the identity of SEO Hacker? Oh man, I'm not sure how long for it to be established, but I would say like 3 years. It took 3 years for me to blog in SEO Hacker for it to be really recognized. And when I say recognized, I mean by the industry at large as one of the best SEO companies here in the country. So I think in my second year, I was no in my it was in my first year that SEO Hacker was ranking for the keyword SEO Philippines already. And again, that may be because during that time it was a blue ocean and competition wasn't that tight. So I was ranking for SEO Philippines. I think I was in the third place. We've held first place for a very long time. Now Google's fluctuating, so we're in the top one or two spots right now. But we've held the very first place for a very long time within the decade. And I think that helped us to just be catapulted into the radar of the industry at large. Also, we have a lot of readers, mostly from the US. Philippines is our fifth strongest reader base, but we do have readers here in the Philippines. And whenever I go and talk with clients, they would usually say that they know SEO Hacker because they read the blog, or they know someone in their company who reads the blog and who shares our stuff. So I think just to be safe, I would say around 2 or 3 years for SEO Hacker to have its brand established. Where do you see SEO Hacker 5 years from now? I see it happy without me and winning without me. So I want the people to, be the best they can be. And they're doing things without me, and they're doing it better without me, actually. I want that to happen with them. And I want to partner up with 500 companies who will be our digital marketing partners, meaning we provide their digital marketing for them. They're happy, successful, and winning online. Next question from Jazz. Was it ever your goal to become a young CEO? No, it wasn't. When I was graduating, I always thought I was going to climb the corporate ladder because that's what my dad wanted for me. And even when I was going to quit my first job in HP, me and my dad had a conflict about that because he wanted me to climb the corporate ladder. And I told him that I think it doesn't make sense for me to do that because what I'm earning in SEO Hacker is way bigger than my day job during that time. So it wasn't my goal. It's a series of divine appointments. Actually, that's how I see it. It's really God leading me to where He wants me to be. I thought I was gonna be a full-time servant in church, maybe a pastor, maybe I don't know, like an usher or something, or climb the corporate ladder. But he called me to be a businessman in the marketplace. So yeah, many are plans in a man's heart, but it's God's will that prevails. Did you feel some sort of pressure from being a Chinese businessman? I'm not sure. Or maybe the answer is I haven't felt that pressure. A Chinese business person is an advantage when it comes to dealing with Chinese counterparts in the negotiation. So it makes it a lot easier for me to close deals with Filipino Chinese owners as well, or managers. I don't think that there's another SEO company that's owned by a Phil Chai. So I think SEO Hacker is pretty much the only one. The good thing about that is whenever I have a pitch and the owner is Phil Chai, I almost always get the deal. And I think that's because I relate better. I speak Hokkien, which is, I think, the most spoken Filipino Chinese tongue here in the country. So yeah, it makes it easier for me actually to close deals from the Phil Chai community.
And it's just that complexity that builds in that, like I said, many times we don't even see. And it's being able to really root that complexity out, really figure out, okay, what can we do to minimize that complexity ongoing? Any decision we make, anything we look at, it's like, okay, what is this going to add to the business?